All right, ladies and gentlemen, I told you in the video that I released yesterday that there was going to be an update once I see Ms. Jefferson to let you all know and hear it actually from her on what happened with her son while he was at the Dallas County Jail for this very long time. No medication, no care, no medical attention, none of that. And instead, the jailers would be laughing at him, making fun of him, and cracking jokes like if it was a joke when it's actually not. So I got Ms. Jefferson here with us, and she's going to actually tell you what happened. So Ms. Jefferson, congratulations on your son getting out of jail. And that really made everybody happy. That made my day, really. Yes. So tell us about what he told you. I mean, I spoke with him briefly on the phone, and he told me about how exhausting it was and how terrible the situation was. But he looked like he was exhausted physically. I could hear it in his voice, so I couldn't really talk to him much. But we agreed that we're going to talk at a later time once he relaxes and settles in a bit. So go ahead and tell us what happened.
Okay, on February the 12th, he was supposed to go to court March the 28th or something, but somehow they pushed up his court date to February the 12th. When they pushed up his court date February the 12th, they released him on his birthday, which was February the 13th. The judge was like, I'm gonna sign off on your papers and just don't let me see in your courtroom no more. But at the end of the day, he still never got any of his medications, like for his blood pressure, diabetes, sleep apnea, none of that. But since he's been home, he hasn't passed out. He hasn't did any of that. But while he was there, he had 4 episodes of passing out, of not having his medication. Dallas County didn't look out for him as being an inmate or as being a person. If they were looking at him as being a person, they would have looked out to make sure he had his medication. Still, from this day forward, they still never looked out for him in order to give him his medication. And now he's really on his medication, and he's doing a lot better by not being in Dallas County. Dallas County is one of the jails that everyone always say, if I go to jail, I want to go to Dallas County. But me, I'm like, Dallas County's not taking care of their inmates. If they were, my son wouldn't have had 4 episodes of passing out. So at the end of the day, I still thank everyone for their help. Mr. Muhammad, he helped me greatly with the resources and everything. And I just thank him for it.
I appreciate you, man. So thank you for that. So he made call. He told the jailers to call to get the medical attention for him. Every time that I talked to you, you would tell me either you were on the phone with him at the time,
yes,
or you just spoke with him,
yes,
and he was telling you all these things. So
yes,
they never brought medical attention to him.
He never
not
had
one time.
Medical attention, and that right now today, I still have a problem with them not looking out for him as giving him his medication.
Yes,
because my son could have died while he was down there. Actually, he did. When you stop breathing, that means you're dead. You died.
Yeah.
So he did that 4 times while he was in loose stairs. He actually, the last episode he had, he fell on another inmate. And the inmate got on the phone and let me know that your son fell on me. He was like, I know he had to been standing up because he couldn't have been in the bed and fell out. He just actually passed out on top of another inmate.
And that inmate that talked to you,
yes,
he called the jailers? Did he call the jailers?
He called them, but the jailers never came. And they laughed at my son. My son was like, Mama asked him to help me. And they stood there and they laughed at me like it was funny. I'm like, it's not funny at all if you passed out and you asked for some help. And they didn't help him.
Huh.
And I had a whole problem with that.
Well, so how many times did you call the jail? When I know I gave you a bunch of numbers and a bunch of contacts, and we started making the phone calls and resources out, me from my end and you from your end. How many times would you think?
Maybe, to just be frank and honest, maybe 50 times. If not 50, it may be more than 50. I'm sure I have it in my phone because I don't delete calls or text messages. So
okay,
over that, maybe over 50 times. Just talking to someone and they were telling me, okay, well, we finna help, we finna go get him now. But at the end of the day, they still never went and got him and helped him.
Well, thank you for that information. Make sure you save all the screenshot all the times, the log, the call logs, and if you remember any names that I
wrote down a few. I did.
Write down, keep those names because they're gonna have to answer to this, and then we'll see what happens. But we'll thank you for this.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, so the jail supposedly passed an inspection, but it passed the inspection while Mr. Jefferson was incarcerated and he was going through all this terrible condition. The question is like, how does he pass out 4 times while he's incarcerated? Jail inspection passes supposedly, and then, and then out of nowhere, drops or the charges are dropped. Anyway, I'm glad. We're all glad that he's out and he's at home and he's safe in his medication. But he's taking his medication right now and everything, so that's great. The next time we do a video on this very topic, we're gonna have Mr. Jefferson come out and speak for a few minutes and talk about his personal experience.
Yes.
And that way everybody knows on the things that are happening. So you'd say, Ms. Jefferson, you say that the sheriff's department, the people that are actually working on the inside, couldn't help him. So
they didn't help. They could, but they didn't.
They could, but they didn't. And the help came from somebody who's not even
on the outside.
So somebody from the outside, like
Yes.
myself, like who's not even sheriff.
Yes,
yet,
sir.
But we will be.
And
All right.
Mr. Avery. I mean, what's his name?
Oh yes, Mr. Lewis. Yes.
Yes. But yes.
Yes.
Thank y'all so much.
Absolutely. You're very welcome.
Without y'all, I don't know what it would have happened.
Well, we're here to help.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes for the interview for today with Ms. Jefferson, and I just want to let you all know that the primary concern for the sheriff, yes, it is the jail, but only when the sheriff is actually paying attention to the jail. I just want to let y'all know an update on what happened. Thank you for tuning in.